What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's the 17th of June today, and here we are after a nice little move up, sitting at about $2.25. Nice little move up, nice little move down. Where you found support, let's see, right here at the low, just above your prior areas of resistance. That's nice to see. You could go lower, and it's fine if you do. Not really a significant area to find support on, and that's okay. I mean, maybe that's a argument to be made that you do go lower. Let's see, from a low to a high here, right at the 0.5. There you go, man. A lot of cryptos showing respect on that 0.5 lately. So I feel like for a time over the past 2 weeks they stopped doing it, and then recently over the past few days we started finding more support around that 0.5 area. So support and resistance, significance maybe is a better word. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, we do have higher lows in the RSI, looking similar to Bitcoin, but just a little bit more bullish with your readings, getting above the 90 here. I would think that you do continue to grow higher. Do you get a lower high in the RSI? Probably. Probably, whenever you move. I mean, getting above the 90 is quite a feat, quite the accomplishment in itself. Could you go up there and form a double top or even higher? Sure, but I mean, man, talking about getting a reading above 94 or 94 or higher, that's hard to do. It's not a small accomplishment right there. Not a small task to ask for. Finding resistance here right at prior areas of resistance. Pulling back, finding support at your 0.5 relative to this low to high. You did have a good bit of volume come into the downside, but it didn't persist, and that's a pretty wicked wick right there, and it looks like you're trying to reverse it. Sorry, continue it with this candle here. You have 20 seconds left. I'm curious to see how the coming hours look, but if the RSI is suggestive of anything, I would assume that we do continue to move up. That was it right there. Quick little shakeout, make people FOMO because it broke out here. We're going to make you FOMO, and then it pulls back. Actually, kind of, I guess where it started to break out was like right here, huh? I mean, it broke out of the range. The range was here, so you didn't backtest that, but you kind of pulled back to your breakout point nonetheless. But at that 0.5 on the fibs there, and getting this reversal, potentially getting some continuation like this, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what happened, right? Quick little shakeout, and they continue to grow. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we were above like $2.35 by the end of today. We're at $2.25 now, so higher prospects in mind. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, you had a nice drive into the overbought zone there. That was the deepest drive you've seen in quite some time. Quite some time since April 22nd. Deepest drive we've seen. You are in this overall consolidation phase here, right? And I think that once you get back into that overbought zone, you probably will break out of this range as well, potentially leading you to higher readings. I'm curious to see what that 1 hour is going to look like. But yeah, I think that you will move up higher. Let's see. Looking at this from a high to a low, the expectation would be that between now, like today and tomorrow, you'll probably be at 241. You're at 225 now, so 241 or higher between the end of today, the 17th, or tomorrow, the 18th. That's my best guess. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you're at like 260 or higher even, but probably around 240 to 250 between today and tomorrow. Consolidate a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, go start moving up again on Thursday, Friday, finish the week out around these highs, I would say, around 260 to 270, if not higher. And I mean, who knows, man? If this is that moment, we're hanging on the edge of a cliff here, man, with our, I shouldn't even say that. I don't know, what's a better analogy? We're moments away from liftoff. You know what I mean? Any day now, it could be today, we'll start to see XRP doing XRP things whenever it wants to move up, right? We'll start seeing these crazy maneuvers. I mean, this could have just been a test run. We're getting set up for some big stuff over the next couple of days. So if I'm wrong, I would think that we're only higher than my expectations by the end of the week. I absolutely do expect that we'll see prices at around $3, if not more, by the end of this month. It's the 17th now, so we literally have like 14 days left in the month, or including today, something like that. I think, yeah, 14 days including today left in the month, so 2 weeks left. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we were not just at $3, but above it, potentially even at new all-time highs by the end of the month. Certainly expecting that we see new all-time highs going into July. Let me look here. Hold on. XRP. I'm going to bring it up on this chart just because we do have other indicators. Yes. MACD is crossing above the zero, right? The oscillators, you're getting those to cross above the zero. That's a good thing, right? Cooling off a little bit, but as you should sometimes, right? Whenever you're pulling back, seeing a little volatility here. RSI looks good, stochastics look fine. You found support here before. and before, kind of in this area, so that's fine. Daily time frame, printing a green read. You're flipping bullish on your MACD. The 4-hour crossing above the zero is something to see, but the daily time frame, whenever you get these oscillators to cross above the zero, that'll be a really good thing. I would think that, yeah, probably by the end of this week you're there. If not, certainly you're getting set up for an end of month rally. Breaking above that zero should definitely cause a move that's a little bit larger than what we just saw here. Okay. Stochastics look like they're pointed to the upside. I mean, there's everything suggests that we're moving up higher. So that's just the expectation there. Certainly would expect that we're around $3 or more over the next 2 weeks. And then going into July, we should be seeing some further readings. Oh, and I wanted to go over this real quick. Hold on. There's a reason why I made this video. Let me look at this real quick. Hold on. Somebody. What was it? Let me see. No. Let me see. XRP, easy peasy. You wanted me to do XRP BTC. You want to know the projective history for this year and into 2030 macro. Yes, you heard me say this, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, so yeah, we can do long-term stuff. Sure, we can do long-term expectations. We can try, right? What we're talking about is historically groundbreaking stuff, actually, with that chart. So we'll finish the video up with that. Maybe we can move into that now. I just want to see the weekly stuff. Weekly MACD, double bullish divergence, yes. Double, no, not double bullish divergence, I'm sorry. Just another reading higher. No bullish divergence there, actually. Or is it? Let's see, hold on. Okay, technically on the MACD you have one drive of bullish divergence. Stochastics look good. Looks like you want to just systematically work your way up there by the end of the month. What's great about this, I'm expecting an end-of-month rally, but if the stochastics are postured the right way, given the current trajectory, I would think the first couple of weeks of July, probably the first week of July, things are really going to pop off. Like end of month, you're going to be moving up, but man, going in July is set up for a really good month. And then same thing with the RSI, getting into that overbought zone and that same kind of time window there. July is set up for a good month, you guys. Absolutely, it is. Let's look at XRP to BTC, okay? XRP BTC. Do we want to do it on Binance? Sure. Hold on. Is this the one? Yeah, this one's got like some of the most historical data. So the question here, easy peasy, right? Easy peasy is the one that asked this question. The question is, where's XRP versus Bitcoin going to be in the long term, right? Not just by the end of this cycle, but like the end of next cycle is what it sounds like, 2030. That's hard to do. That's pretty hard to do, man. That's not easy to do. I can tell you some assumptions, and we can kind of deduce the reasoning for that, okay? So XRP versus BTC, if you look at this chart, its whole existence, I mean, other than the scam wick in the middle there, is there a chart that doesn't have that? What about Bitstamp? Probably worse with Bitstamp, yeah. What about Kraken, maybe? No. Looks like... See, we don't have the scam wick. That's nice. That's not annoying, at least. KuCoin, maybe? Nope, even lesser. All right, Binance it is. Just ignore the scam wick in the middle, okay? Act like... I wish I could erase it. I wish TradingView, can you let me erase things on the chart that are printed on there? Probably not. There's a reason for it. You can't hide from the truth, but no, truth is that was probably just a fat finger. Anyways, if you look at this chart between XRP and BTC, it's more of a range, right? You've got lows, you've got highs, and we've been in the lower half of this range for a good bit of our existence right now, especially the last 6 years now. As far as where will XRP be in 2030, that's a hard question to answer. I do believe that yes, by the end of July, if not sometime later in this year, I would expect that we are up in this area, up at the higher areas here. Certainly would expect that we're interacting with this, but are we all the way up at the top by the end of July? I don't know. I think we're going to make a hell of a move. We're going to grow a lot versus Bitcoin. XRP is going to make a move that's going to stun the world, and then it's going to slow down. It'll continue to grow, sure. I think it'll continue to grow, but will it see higher readings versus Bitcoin by the end of the cycle, new all-time highs? That's hard for me to deduce by now, right? I think that by the end of 2025, going into early 2026 even, sure, we could be up here. That's the expectation. And then, of course, July comes around. I think that most of this move is going to be made by the end of July. And then we'll continue to climb, slowly outperforming Bitcoin through the rest of the cycle as well. And then going into 2026. But then what do we do in the bear market? We'll probably pull back, right? Pull back, something like that. Find support at these areas that we found resistance on. And we'll probably just do a good old flip-flop, switcheroo of what we're doing here but to the upside. Instead of being held down by this area, we'll probably be held up by it, right? And then maybe next cycle, maybe we see new all-time highs versus Bitcoin. Maybe. That's the key question. But one of two things is going to happen, right? We're either going to do this where we're range bound all next cycle, right? And I would say, would it be next cycle ends in 2030? Would it be that? When's the next halving? When is it? Hold on, let's see. Vertcoin. When is the next Bitcoin halving? 2028. So we probably are in a bear market in 2030. By 2030, XRP to BTC, and this is just huge speculation, man. I don't know. So we could do one of two things. I don't think XRP is just going to break out from here in the next cycle and see phenomenal growth. I really do think that we'll be range bound. I really have the suspicion. And probably kind of akin to this, but like we'll be toward the upper end, just kind of consolidating around here, right? Outperforming Bitcoin still and growing versus it, but probably range bound for the most part and just growing slowly. Moments of volatility where Bitcoin's doing its thing, Bitcoin dominance is growing, there's no alt season boom, and then XRP is moving down, and then when alt season hits, XRP will regain all that area. But by 2030, if I had to guess, if I had to make a wild guess, I would think that by 2030, we would be somewhere around 4 zeros, let's say 301 to 3024, somewhere in that area, something kind of in this upper area by 2030, right? And I think essentially once we get to there, once we get to this area, to these high points by the end of this year, the beginning of next year, I would assume that we're just range bound again like this, but for the foreseeable future. This was for 6 years. It's 2025, so where are we going to be by 2030? It's like the beginning of the next bear market, or the end, depending on when in 2030 potentially. Because of 2028, you assume 18 months afterwards, right? Wait. Is in, but wait. What month? Give me a month. Give me a month, Google. March, so in the beginning. So yeah, it would be like late 29. So 2030. By the end of 2030, by the beginning of 2030, XRP is probably closer to these all-time highs. It might even be above these all-time highs. But by the end of 2030, you're probably going to be back around this area of support down at about 4036 to 4057. If you're not there, so that's like end of 2030, beginning of 2030, this first area that I was saying, which is 401 to 4024. I don't know how much that helps, but that's just my expectation. I don't believe that XRP is going to all of a sudden start climbing versus Bitcoin and see new all-time highs. I mean, maybe. But again, let's just put this in perspective real quick, okay? Let's put this in perspective. I think Bitcoin's going to be at $500,000 by the end of this bull cycle, right? That's what I think our target is, $500,000. So 500,000 times 3 zeros, let's say 23, okay? 3023. That's where the all-time high is. That gives you a $115 price. And no offense to the XRP army. I love you guys. I don't think that's going to happen. Bitcoin and XRP probably don't top. I think it'll happen in time. I just don't think it'll happen by the end of this cycle, right? Bitcoin probably isn't at 500,000 by the time XRP tops off. It'll probably pull back. So let's make that a little bit more fair. 0.00023 again times, let's say 450,000. Probably like 460, and even higher probably. But let's just say 460. Lower will probably help our case, right? 105. Yeah. All I'm trying to say is, I don't think that XRP to BTC this cycle will even be at these highs, right? It'll probably be at these highs, and it'll probably linger. You'll probably see a rapid move up to this area and then linger and slowly grow, something like this. Pull back. Next cycle, you'll start to move up, and you'll see higher highs in the next cycle, but it won't be new all-time highs. Again, you'll be range-bound, but instead of on the lower ends of this range, it'll be on the higher ends of this range. This overall range that you've been in your whole damn life, right? Does that make sense? So some of this and some of that. I hope that answers your question. Easy peasy, not so much. It was kind of hardy-darty, but that's all I got. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. 224 right now. I'm expecting some immaculate growth for XRP over the coming weeks, over the coming months. Definitely looking for prices that are around $10, $11, $15, or even more than that by the end of July. We'll see how it goes. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.